All right, Kevin, let's talk a little CPAC. The president,
Yes.
Former president, I'm still calling him President Trump, former President Trump yesterday making news at CPAC, like we thought he would, but he did stop short of declaring himself a candidate already in 2024. Let's take a look at what he had to say.
I stand before you today to declare that the incredible journey we've begun together, we went through a journey like nobody else. There's never been a journey like it. There's never been a journey so successful. We began it together 4 years ago, and it is far from being over. We're not starting new parties. You know, they kept saying, he's going to start a brand new party. We have the Republican Party. It's going to unite and be stronger than ever before. I am not starting a new party. Who knows? I may even decide to beat them for a third time, okay?
All right, well, a third time doesn't make sense because he lost the election of 2020. That notwithstanding, the news that he will not be forming a new political party, still, how does the Republican Party move on? Because he did spend some time bashing Republicans by name, including Liz Cheney.
So look, here's two things that I think that are important to remember. Yesterday and over the weekend, in speaking with Republicans about CPAC, the first is take his name out of it. If you are a politician who wants to stay relevant, no matter what party you are in, flirting with a presidential run gives you instant relevancy in every conversation that you are having as it relates to the short term and the long term. If you don't want to be relevant, say that you aren't running for president. So by flirting with this, he continues to be a dominant force in every conversation ahead of the midterms, as well as ahead of 2024, and keeping that door open. But secondly, you know, when I talk to Republicans, the biggest challenge that former President Trump will have is the argument that he can defeat a Democrat in a general election, And so the biggest unknown variable at this point is whether or not Biden seeks a second term. If Biden seeks a second term, the general election argument is difficult for the previous standard bearer of the Republican Party, the incumbent in last cycle, Trump. But if it's another candidate like a VP Harris, and I know we're doing hypotheticals, but this is the lay of the land in Washington this morning, then a rematch of Trump becomes more interesting conversation.
The biggest stories the moment they happen from around the globe. Subscribe to Bloomberg Quick Take now for insight in an instant.